Have you ever considered that one of the most ingrained habits of your life, a ritual you've performed almost every single day for decades, might now be silently undermining your health? We are taught from a young age, through a combination of parental instruction, societal expectation, and pervasive media messaging, that a daily shower is the absolute gold standard of cleanliness and personal responsibility. It's presented as a non-negotiable part of our routine, as essential as brushing our teeth or dressing in clean clothes. This belief is so deeply embedded in our collective consciousness that to question it feels almost heretical, a step backward into a less civilized time. But what if the very thing you believe is keeping you healthy, the warm, comforting cascade of water that starts your day or washes away its stresses, is quietly chipping away at your body's most crucial defenses as you enter your 60s, 70s, and beyond? A growing and increasingly vocal consensus of doctors, dermatologists, and geriatric specialists are raising a crucial yet often overlooked warning. For older adults, the fundamental rules of hygiene have changed. The physiological reality of the body at 75 is not the same as it was at 35, and it requires a profoundly different, more nuanced, and gentler approach to care. This conversation is not merely about saving a little water or a few minutes in the morning. This is about a fundamental and necessary shift in understanding how to protect your skin's integrity, how to fortify your immune system's front line, and even how to safeguard your precious and hard-won independence for as long as possible. If you've ever stepped out of the shower feeling inexplicably tired or lightheaded, if you've noticed your skin growing progressively drier, tighter, and itchier with each passing year, or if you've simply had a nagging feeling, a quiet wonder, if your lifelong habits are still truly serving your current needs, then you are in exactly the right place. We are about to embark on a detailed exploration, uncovering the compelling and evidence-based reasons why rethinking your shower frequency could be one of the most significant and empowering health decisions you make in your golden years. And the last reason we'll share might just revolutionize the way you think about the very concept of self-care forever. Los Pas, the unseen damage to your skin's armor. As we journey through the rich and varied landscape of life, our skin meticulously tells the story of our years, bearing the gentle marks of laughter, the faint lines of worry, and the accumulated wisdom of decades. It is a living chronicle, but it is also an organ undergoing profound and natural changes. As we age, our skin naturally becomes thinner, a process known as dermatoporosis, making it more fragile and susceptible to tearing. It produces significantly fewer of the protective oils that once kept it supple, and it gradually loses the collagen and elastin that provided its youthful elasticity and resilience. This complex biological transformation means that the familiar, almost sacred comfort of a long, hot shower can morph from a cleansing ritual into an unintentional and sustained assault on your body's largest and most exposed organ. The very routines we have trusted and performed without a second thought for decades, the vigorous scrubbing with a loofah or washcloth, the immersion in steaming hot water that fogs up the mirror, and the liberal use of fragrant, richly lathering soaps can aggressively and systematically strip away the delicate microscopic layer of natural oils, known as the lipid barrier, that your aging skin desperately needs to maintain its health and function. This oily, waxy barrier, composed of sebum, ceramides, and fatty acids, is not dirt or grime to be scrubbed away. It is your body's exquisitely designed, built-in defense system. It acts as a waterproof and flexible shield that performs the dual function of locking essential moisture inside the skin to keep it hydrated and pliable, while simultaneously keeping harmful bacteria, allergens, and irritants out. When this protective mantle is repeatedly washed away, the very structure of the skin begins to break down at a microscopic level. The cells of the outermost layer, the stratum corneum, can no longer hold together effectively, leading to a compromised barrier. The skin can develop tiny invisible fissures, begin to crack and flake, and manifest a persistent, often maddening itch known medically as pruritus. For many seniors, this is far from being a minor cosmetic annoyance. It can escalate into a state of chronic discomfort, leading to red, inflamed, and painful patches of skin that make wearing certain types of clothing unbearable or even sleeping peacefully through the night an ongoing challenge. Worse yet, these tiny invisible fissures in the skin's surface become open, undefended gateways for infection. A seemingly insignificant dry spot on a shin or an elbow can evolve into a serious and potentially dangerous bacterial infection like cellulitis, particularly if an individual's immune system is already compromised by age or other health conditions. Consider the case of Harold, an 81-year-old retired naval officer who was fiercely proud of his disciplined lifestyle, which included a daily, scalding hot shower, a ritual he'd maintained since his days in the service. When his arms and legs developed angry, scaly red patches that no lotion or cream seemed to soothe, he was baffled and frustrated. His pride wouldn't let him admit the severity of his discomfort. After a concerned daughter finally persuaded him to consult a dermatologist, he reluctantly agreed to test the doctor's unconventional advice. Cut his showers back to just twice a week, switch to lukewarm water instead of hot, and use only a gentle, pH-neutral, unscented cleanser on essential areas. Within a single month, the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. The pervasive redness subsided, the incessant itching vanished, and his skin felt comfortable and calm for the first time in years. Harold's story is a powerful, real-world reminder that adapting your long-held habits to your body's current, evolving needs isn't a sign of defeat or of getting old, but is instead a profound and intelligent act of self-care and respect for the body that has carried you so far. Okay, washing away your natural defenses. One of the most surprising and profoundly important consequences of the seemingly innocent act of overshowering is its direct and detrimental impact on your immune health. Your skin is far more than a simple inert covering designed to hold your body together. It is a dynamic, living, and breathing ecosystem, a bustling metropolis teeming with trillions of microscopic organisms. This vast and diverse community of bacteria, fungi, and viruses, collectively known as the skin microbiome, forms a critical and often underappreciated part of your body's overall immune system. These beneficial microorganisms are not invaders, they are resident allies. They help to train your immune cells, teaching them to distinguish between friend and foe. They form a protective, living front line that actively prevents harmful pathogenic organisms from gaining a foothold and invading your body. This microbial shield works in several ways. It competes with pathogens for space and nutrients. It produces natural antibiotic substances called antimicrobial peptides that can kill or inhibit dangerous bacteria. And it helps maintain the skin's slightly acidic pH, creating an environment that is inhospitable to many harmful microbes. When you shower too frequently, especially with harsh, broad-spectrum antibacterial soaps and scalding hot water, you are not just washing away dirt. You are effectively carpet-bombing this delicate and beneficial ecosystem. It is akin to clear-cutting a vibrant, ancient rainforest just to get rid of a few undesirable weeds. The collateral damage is immense, and the long-term consequences are severe. For an older adult whose systemic immune system may already be functioning less robustly due to a natural process called immunosenescence, this self-inflicted damage to the skin's microbial defense line creates a significant and unnecessary vulnerability. With the skin's natural barrier weakened and its microbial allies decimated, pathogenic bacteria, opportunistic fungi, and viruses have a much easier time gaining entry into the body. A minor scratch from a garden rose bush that would have healed without a thought in a day or two can become inflamed and infected. A dry, cracked patch of skin on the heel can become a breeding ground for fungus or bacteria. You are, in essence, systematically lowering your body's defenses at the very moment in life when you need them to be at their strongest. Consider the illustrative story of Clara, a 77-year-old woman who prided herself on being impeccably clean and well-groomed. Her bathroom shelves were lined with an arsenal of antibacterial soaps, exfoliating scrubs, and scented body washes. When she began experiencing a frustrating cycle of recurring skin infections and mysterious itchy rashes that seemed to appear out of nowhere, her doctor looked beyond the usual prescriptions for creams and antibiotics and asked detailed questions about her daily habits. It turned out that her meticulous twice-daily showers were the root cause of her problems. She was unknowingly and systematically stripping her skin of the very microorganisms that were supposed to be protecting her. By making the conscious shift to showering just 3 times a week, abandoning the harsh antibacterial products in favor of a simple, gentle cleanser, and diligently applying a thick, ceramide-rich moisturizer after every wash, she was able to restore her skin's natural balance. The infection stopped, the rashes disappeared, and her skin became calm and healthy again. Her experience highlights a crucial modern truth. True, lasting cleanliness isn't about achieving a state of complete sterility. It's about nurturing and maintaining a healthy, balanced, and resilient biological equilibrium. The bathroom's hidden danger, a matter of balance and safety. While we often think of the bathroom as a private sanctuary, a place of retreat and renewal, for older adults it can statistically become one of the most hazardous and treacherous places in the entire home. The risk of a fall, an event that can have sudden, devastating, and life-altering consequences, increases dramatically within this small, enclosed environment. The dangerous combination of wet, slippery tiles, the physical challenge of stepping over a high tub, wall, or onto a slick shower floor, and the significant physiological effects that hot water has on the body creates a perfect storm for accidents. As we age, our intricate systems of balance and proprioception, the body's sense of its position in space, can become less certain and our reflexes can slow. Concurrently, our cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive and our blood pressure is more prone to sudden and significant fluctuations. A very hot shower causes the peripheral blood vessels in the skin and muscles to dilate or widen as the body tries to dissipate heat. This rapid vasodilation can lead to a quick and sometimes dramatic drop in blood pressure, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. For a younger person, this might result in a brief passing moment of lightheadedness or seeing a few spots. For a senior, especially one who may already be on medication for hypertension, this sudden drop can lead to dizziness, syncope, fainting, and a subsequent catastrophic fall. The injuries that result from such an incident are often severe. Broken hips, fractured pelvises, traumatic head injuries, and long, painful, and difficult recoveries that frequently mark the beginning of a decline in overall function and independence. Walter, an 83-year-old widower who lived alone and cherished his self-sufficiency, learned this lesson in the hardest way possible. One morning, the thick steam from his customary long, hot daily shower completely fogged his glasses. Momentarily disoriented as he stepped out of the tub, his foot missed the center of the bath mat, which slipped on the wet tile. The resulting fall led to a complex fracture of his pelvis and weeks of agonizing rehabilitation in a facility, an experience that temporarily stripped him of his most prized possession, his independence. Afterward, with the guidance of an occupational therapist, he made several simple but life-saving changes. He not only reduced his showers to 3 times a week to limit his exposure to the high-risk situation, but he also had sturdy grab bars professionally installed, began using a comfortable shower chair so he could sit while washing, and placed non-slip mats both inside the tub and on the floor outside. He maintained his personal hygiene and his dignity, but more importantly, he reclaimed his safety. By simply reducing the number of times you enter this high-risk environment each week, you are making a conscious and powerful decision to significantly lower your odds of experiencing a dangerous, life-changing fall. It is an eminently practical, proactive, and powerful step toward preserving your mobility, your confidence, and your ability to live safely and independently in your own home for many years to come. Microbiome, the delicate dance of circulation and water temperature. The efficiency of our circulatory system, the vast network of arteries and veins that delivers oxygen and nutrients to every cell in our body, naturally undergoes changes as we get older. Blood vessels can lose some of their youthful flexibility and elasticity due to a process called arteriosclerosis, and the heart, a remarkable muscle, sometimes has to work a bit harder to pump blood effectively, especially to our extremities. This is why many seniors experience chronically cold hands and feet, notice that cuts and bruises on their legs heal more slowly, or find that they become winded more easily. Your daily or weekly shower routine can play a surprisingly significant, yet often unrecognized, role in either supporting or straining this delicate and vital system. A genuinely warm shower can be wonderfully beneficial. The gentle, moderate heat encourages blood vessels to expand in a controlled way, temporarily boosting blood flow to the skin and muscles. This can help to ease the chronic aches of arthritis, soothe stiff joints, and relax tense muscles, providing therapeutic relief. However, the crucial word in this equation is warm, not hot. When the water temperature is excessively hot, or the duration of the shower is too long, it can place an undue and dangerous stress on the cardiovascular system. The sudden and significant dilation of a vast network of blood vessels can cause a sharp, precipitous drop in blood pressure. This forces the heart to beat much faster to try and compensate and maintain adequate blood flow to the brain and other vital organs. This can lead to pronounced dizziness, overwhelming fatigue, heart palpitations, and even fainting, a serious risk for any individual, but especially for an older adult who may have pre-existing conditions like coronary artery disease, congestive heart failure, or other circulation issues. George, a 79-year-old retired accountant, had always loved taking very long, very hot showers to relax his back and unwind at the end of the day. It was his personal luxury. But after several frightening episodes where he felt profoundly dizzy and weak in the shower, nearly losing his balance, his doctor began to question him about his specific daily routines. The moment George described his shower habits, the high heat, the 20-minute duration, his doctor advised an immediate and significant change. By making the switch to shorter 5 to 10-minute showers with comfortably lukewarm water and limiting them to just a few times a week, George found that the dizzy spells vanished completely. An unexpected benefit was that he felt more energized and clear-headed throughout the day, as he was no longer subjecting his body to that exhausting cardiovascular roller coaster. The ultimate goal of bathing should be to gently cleanse and stimulate your circulation, not to shock it into a state of emergency. Practicing thoughtful bathing, using moderately warm water for a reasonable duration, is an act of kindness to your body that supports your heart and blood vessels, contributing to your overall vitality, safety, and long-term well-being. Husky more than skin deep, the shower and your emotional state. Our daily rituals are not just a series of actions we perform, they are often deeply and intricately connected to our mental and emotional well-being, serving as anchors in the flow of our days. The act of bathing in particular is steeped in psychological significance. For many, a shower provides a rare and precious moment of complete solitude, a quiet, meditative space for reflection, problem-solving, or simply letting the mind wander freely without interruption. It is a predictable, self-contained event that can bring a sense of order and calm. However, a significant and noticeable change in bathing habits, especially in later life, can also be a subtle but important indicator of one's underlying emotional state. As we navigate the complex emotional landscape of aging, which can include major life transitions such as retirement, the loss of a spouse or friends, or increasing loneliness, our most basic routines can be profoundly affected. Some individuals, in an attempt to cope with rising anxiety, feelings of grief, or a sense of life being out of control, may begin to overbathe. They might use multiple, long, frequent showers throughout the day as a way to self-soothe, to wash away feelings of distress, or to find a tangible sense of control and order when other parts of life feel chaotic and unpredictable. The warm water becomes a temporary, comforting escape from emotional pain. On the other, equally concerning end of the spectrum, a marked decline in emotional energy, the heavy weight of apathy, or the onset of clinical depression can lead to a significant avoidance of bathing altogether. For someone struggling with depression, the multi-step task of showering, drying off, and getting dressed can feel monumental and utterly overwhelming, requiring more physical and mental energy than they can muster. Both of these extremes, compulsive overbathing or neglect of personal hygiene, can be red flags that signal a deeper emotional or psychological issue that needs compassionate attention. This is precisely why doctors and concerned family members often inquire about hygiene habits, not to be intrusive or to pass judgment, but to gain valuable insight into a person's overall well-being. Take the case of Sharon, a 76-year-old woman who began taking 2 or 3 long, hot showers every single day after her husband of 50 years passed away. It was, as she later explained, the only time and place where she felt she could let her guard down and cry without being seen. But the unintended consequence of this coping mechanism was painfully dry, cracked, and irritated skin that only added to her misery. When her daughter gently expressed concern, not just about her skin, but about her emotional withdrawal, it opened the door for Sharon to talk to her doctor. The conversation gently uncovered the profound and unprocessed grief she was struggling to navigate alone. By finding healthier and more sustainable outlets for her emotions, joining a grief support group and starting a new gentle yoga class, she was able to gradually return to a more balanced bathing schedule that was kinder to both her body and her spirit. Your hygiene routine should be a source of comfort, health, and renewal, not a symptom of or a mask for emotional pain. Finding a healthy, moderate frequency that works for you allows you to maintain a predictable, reassuring ritual without letting it become an unhealthy crutch or an overwhelming burden, a small but meaningful way to ensure you are consciously caring for both your physical and your emotional health in tandem. Finding your personal rhythm, a new philosophy on cleanliness. Ultimately, the journey toward healthier aging is not about blindly adhering to a rigid new set of rules dictated by a doctor, a book, or an article. Instead, the ultimate goal is to cultivate a deeper, more intimate awareness of your own body and its unique, ever-changing needs. The true wisdom of our later years lies in our enhanced ability to listen to the subtle and sometimes not so subtle signals our body sends us every day, and to respond not with outdated habits, but with intelligence, compassion, and adaptive care. The one-size-fits-all culturally ingrained belief that a daily soap-filled shower is the only acceptable way to be clean is an outdated paradigm that simply no longer serves the physiological realities of an older adult. It is a myth perpetuated by decades of marketing and social convention, not by a deep understanding of geriatric biology. What is right for you is not a universal prescription, but a deeply personal balance that you discover for yourself. If your skin consistently feels tight, itchy, or visibly dry after you bathe, that is not a sign that you need more lotion. It is a clear and direct message from your body to pull back on the frequency, temperature, and harshness of your cleansing routine. If, on the other hand, a quick, lukewarm shower on a summer afternoon leaves you feeling energized, comfortable, and refreshed, then by all means, embrace it. The transformative key is to act with intention and mindfulness, making conscious choices that genuinely enhance your well-being rather than continuing to follow a lifelong habit out of sheer, unthinking momentum. This new chapter of life is a powerful invitation to redefine what true self-care looks like for you. It is a chance to shed the external expectations and prescriptions of the past and to tune into the deep internal wisdom of your own experience. Let your bathing routine be a moment of genuine peace and rejuvenation, a supportive and nurturing act, not a source of physical stress, a hidden danger, or a chore to be endured. By consciously and thoughtfully adapting your habits, you are not just surviving the aging process, you are actively engaging with it, growing, learning, and discovering new ways to honor and protect the incredible body that has carried you through a lifetime of experiences. And that, in and of itself, the act of listening and responding with loving care, is a beautiful, revolutionary, and powerful thing. This is the final, most profound reason. understanding that health in your golden years is not about fighting aging, but about intelligently and gracefully collaborating with it. It's about letting go of the habits that once served a younger body and embracing new ones that protect and sustain the body you have now. This conscious evolution of self-care is the ultimate key to preserving not just your health and safety, but your vitality and independence for all the years to come.